Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best value for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems. David Beard, CRM Principal, and Jeff Richards, Head of Training Program Development for Sage CRM, spend time chatting with customers, resellers, and others about Sage CRM in action around the globe. In this episode, we talk with Lee Savidge from Accord Consulting, a UK consultancy who specialise in Sage 300 and Sage CRM, about how he got his start with Sage CRM. We share our views of the platform value of the product and stories of the numerous customers he's worked with. Hello, welcome along. This is another in our audio soiree, Jeff, of Talking CRM.
Audio soiree. Now, I apologise, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff Richards here. You've probably just pictured David Beard in a dinner jacket and a bow tie, looking very dapper.
What do you mean? That's what I'm wearing.
It's soiree. Well, it's wonderful. Who have we got today, David, on the line?
So we are welcoming along the CRM main man at the UK company Accord Consulting. Hello, Lee Savidge.
Hi, David. Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Doing very well. Lee, tell us about yourself and tell us about Accord Consulting.
Well, I'm at the moment I'm doing mainly development work. Most of that is either split between CRM and Sage Accounting, and also with Sage Intact. So that's kind of where my focus of my work is. Most of that's integration work. Historically, started out about 15 or 16 years ago, I forget when, with CRM back in the days of about version 6, I think it started.
Ooh, the man's got history, Jeff.
Yeah,
He has.
I think going back as far as about 5, 7, I think was the earliest customer I dealt with. Been dealing with it since then, so I've worked with quite a range of different customers. Nowadays, most of the things we tend to deal with are customers like the finance industry, some of them in construction industry, varied set of customer base.
We'll look in a moment about the breadth of the types of customers that you've dealt with and Accord has on its books. You've talked as well about integration. So these are all areas that I'd like to return to. But I'm going to start off with a softer question. How, Lee, did you end up working within the context of CRM?
Initially, I started out before the CRM world as purely doing web development, and a role position came up for doing CRM work, and it was an area that I'd become aware of, and I could see there was potential for a lot of growth in that area. So I thought I'd apply for the job, and as it was, with my background of my development, it would allow that company back then to move into a more prominent position with their CRM offering rather than just sort of delivery. They would allow them to extend the products and give a better offering to their customers. And it's kind of how it really started.
Well, it's one of the interesting things is that when you're saying you were doing web development, I sort of immediately sort of pricked my ears up on the idea about that, because surely Sage CRM is just another CRM product, which is just there you are, it's a shrink wrap product. Sort of, how can you get involved in really just a shrink wrap product as a developer?
I'd known a bit about the products through various sources. I know from the history of this product that it goes back to the mid to late 90s. So I knew being purely a web application, but it's a bit more than that. It's just really the framework of an application allows it to be tailored relatively easily for customers' needs. It was more of a move into the consultancy side of the field and allowed me to continue using my development skills. I was quite interested with that challenge. That's kind of why I took the role.
I was being a bit cheeky there, really, because I was really rather leading you on the idea that Sage CRM is actually a very flexible product when it comes to its APIs and its ability to actually accommodate development around a business's needs. David was pulling a face because he can see me. He knows exactly what I was thinking of there.
Because it's a development platform masquerading as a CRM system, Jeff, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've always thought of it as a framework. It's there to offer, somebody out of the box. It'll work. You can install it. It runs and supplies the basic needs. But to extend it was relatively easy, even way back in the day. I mean, as it's product has matured. It's certainly got older as it's gone along. I mean,
As have we all, Lee.
yeah, well, I know that feeling very well. There's quite a few of certainly the different APIs that are available to it. It's certainly become over the last, certainly more recent years, the more open product in terms of stuff. Like the REST API is probably one of the better things that's happened for a long time, with certainly web development as a whole. But CRM, that was certainly a good move away from the old JavaScript pages.
Although I have to say that the ability to work with JavaScript libraries, or whether it's React, or whether it is JScript within our pages, or whether it is some of the extensions of those like Fusion charts, they're all good fun. They're all abilities to work with extensions in JavaScript. But you're right. I'm validating you there, Lee. I actually think that the REST API is one of the best things about the product as well, and its openness since sort of 2019 onwards. You've come at this from a consultancy point of view. Are you, within your background in the different firms and within Accord, are you working in a particular vertical, or do you find yourself working across industries?
It's cross industry, to be fair. I mean, many of the customers from the likes of the restaurant business we've worked with, healthcare industries, certainly the finance sector is quite a big one, obviously, with my work now, because it's a lot of integration with the finance side of the Sage products. But so many different industries I've worked with over the years, but a few have stood out more than others, some have not so much.
And that's sort of another takeaway as well, isn't it? CRM just is for everybody. People just sometimes don't recognize, perhaps, that the term CRM is specific to their industries, but it is. It works for everybody, doesn't it, Lee?
Definitely. I mean, I've always been a big fan of CRM systems. I mean, I know there's plenty on the market, but the simplicity of Sage CRM, I sound like a salesman now, but the simplicity of it, the fact that I can install it and be up and running probably as little as about half an hour, really, just to get something out of the box I think it's one of its stronger points.
That is looking at it from our perspective as somebody who wants to be able to start playing with the APIs, want to start playing with the ability to extend it. But when you're thinking about it with your consultancy hat on and you're thinking about the implementation, how does it rate then in terms of your experience with other products in being able to deliver it into a customer, then have that customer start to get a return on their investment?
With other CRM products, I mean, the other ones I've used are examples like obviously Dynamics I've played with over the years. But again, I find that quite, although it's sort of embedded within everything Microsoft does, I find it really convoluted product. And that's kind of how it's become, whereas with CRM, Sage CRM, quite a nice straightforward approach to it.
Building on Jeff's question, because Accord Consulting's natural hunting ground for many years was the Sage 300 product, which is the North American mid-market accounting product. Are most of your engagements attached to 300 and working up from there?
Most of them are at the moment. So we do have quite a few standalone customers. Obviously, a lot of people with Sage 300 comes with a CRM license. It allows the company then to sort of upsell into saying, this product is here, and this can give you this kind of approach to run their business a bit more better, so they can get their users on a centralized system. Because otherwise, we all know what it's like where customers end up using spreadsheets, and it's a nightmare. You can't find things. So having that centralized system is really beneficial, I find. With
the centralization of data within an organization, the chief systems that you're from within an Accord background and within your consultancy background, you've been integrating with, as David has been talking about, Sage 300. Most recently, have you started to integrate it with other products? Because I know Sage 300, I think there's been a change in the way that's available within the UK market. Are you working with other products?
So in the last year, we've started working with Sage Intacct. At the moment, I've not had a chance to look at any integration with that, but with the APIs that are available, certainly with the REST APIs, both products have that. So there is no reason why you couldn't build a relatively simple custom integration between the two. You can integrate with any product, really, if it's got a decent API.
And indeed, some of our partners across the world have already started to componentize some integrations with CRM and Intacct. So it's the beginning of the next evolution of products and the way they knit together, right?
That's the kind of approach we're taking at the moment, is to have, they're almost like microservices where it's like, well, this particular component will just integrate customers from your system to whatever system it is, whether it's into CRM or to and between the finance system. This one will just do the suppliers, and then it will just do smaller parts of it, and you can then just have little bits working as separate bridges between the two systems.
With the Sage CRM integration with Sage 300, that represented a particular type of generation of integration, because Sage 300 is an on-premise product. You're now working with a product in Sage Intacct that is a cloud product. Are you starting to do anything with the Sage Partner Cloud?
Not at the moment, no.
That's a bit of this interview that we'll have to cut out, won't it?
Stop asking closed questions, Jeff. What cloud integrations have you been working on, Lee?
Well, to give us some examples, one of our customers, they integrate with their warehouse systems. They've got about 6 or 7 different warehouses which they use to supply and ship their products around the world. So they use CRM specifically for a lot of their users, and they need the integration to pull through the quotes information that ultimately goes into Sage 300 through the integration. But it's very limited, the integration and how that works. It's very rigid, and what we've done is we've written additional components that allow us to extend that integration, and then they can then use their CRM users without giving them full access to their finance systems. Allows just their CRM users to be able to produce all these quotes and their orders that ultimately also flow straight through the finance system out into the warehouse. So it's an entirely automated system that they've got really now.
That's good, because what you want is people to have the right tool for the right job, right? And if you don't need full access to a finance system because you're simply poking an order to a warehouse, CRM is a good place for that to live.
That's right. As their orders flow through right from their customers, they post them into they've got these online shops which they run, and those orders come in. So they're vetted, the users in CRM create the quotes, and then it all flows through and the orders ship, and its supply chain is managed pretty much all the way through.
In the next episode, Lee continues on with his story on the value of integrating the front and back office. Jeff asks Lee how he stays current with trends and CRM skills, and in particular the value of the Sage City forums. Plus, we explore the value of the seriousness of remaining current with latest product releases. You've been listening to Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems.